like this. So this guy here is basically the superstar at the moment on Nunc.
135.
Yeah, that's just the beginning. I think it's just really good just seeing people's strategies and how they're doing it and what people respond to. I mean, this artist basically knows his stuff, and if you look back at his Instagram, you can see he's got he's got a really long sort of history of doing sort of similar sort of graphics.
Okay.
And what he did was sort of adjusted what he knows to this market and to find a market in this place. And basically, so what he's done is created a kind of niche collection that people can basically say, oh yeah, I know this artist. He does this stuff in the windows. And I think, and then he got a following, and I think that I think the whole NFT thing is sort of built around that. Is about there's a lot of self promotion, a lot of generating sort of interest to different degrees. So you got some of the NFT platforms that are the ones where you have to get like 2,000 votes before you even get considered to be on the platform. And I can't remember what that one's called, but it's I looked at it and I thought, oh my god, you've literally got to become a sort of marketing person full on and really just like beg people to vote for you so you could even get a chance of getting your work on this site, on a site, not this one. And I think that that's really off-putting. Some people love it, yeah, but I think that's quite off-putting. And then and then I looked at it, and then so I signed up to give it a go just to see what the process was and what the interface was like, and that and it's a really lovely interface that it was there. I can't remember what it's called now. And then I looked at, and then as part of that process, you have to tweet like you've just signed up, and then literally I just got like hundreds of messages basically saying, "Oh, vote for me, do this, vote for this, vote for this." It was just so awful, horrible. Anyway.
Yeah, I've also seen places where they look at like the number of Instagram followers you have and things, and then decide whether or not you can be on the platform.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's so rough, because that means that if people have like a smaller amount of followers, that it's just going to guarantee that they'll never have that platform. That's so unfortunate.
Yeah. So these are all going for anything between 300 Tez to 100 Tez. All these pieces are basically.
I suppose it depends also what you're in for. I mean, are you in to make quick money, or are you actually in building a portfolio of stuff you like?
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
Because like if you are selling, for example, I don't know, something, and then you just get 50 quid out of that, like how do you? But if you get a grant, like how do you report that? Like because it's your person. Like,
well, it's your self-employed income.
So you just have to. Oh, okay. So
yeah,
you just have to
you'd have to claim it as for your self-employed income. Yeah. So yeah, so this is what this site's really good at. It's it's a really it shows total sold. Wow, look how much is sold. 14,277 tests on those.
Oh wow, that's insane. How long has this guy been around?
And he's only been doing this for like 8 weeks.
Oh my god,
incredible.
And then you've got, so he's collecting as well, and the secondary market. So that's basically when someone buys your work and then resells it. Then when you're minting, you get a choice to put a percentage on of resale costs. So even that alone is a massive amount of resale costs. So he would have got 25% potentially of that price as well. on top of what is sold directly. So you got your direct sales, and then you got your secondary sales, and those secondary sales are forever, for the ever life of that piece in the blockchain, because that's what's great about the blockchain, I guess, because there's always a record of your sale, and you will always benefit from any resale. So I think that's pretty cool. The other thing
But it's still in your authorship, right? Even if it's resales, you're still the owner.
Oh yes, you always. I guess that this is where it's a little bit fishy, but I think you always retain the sort of IP for that piece. So even though someone buys a piece of your work, they can't start printing T-shirts and stuff like that because they bought a piece of your work as an NFT. If that makes sense. You still retain that IP for saying whether someone can make a T-shirt of that work.
That's really good.
Yeah, that's as I understand it.
So how is the minting process? How do they kind of make sure that's really your piece and not somebody else's piece you're trying to sell? Is there any
There's
kind
no
of
one, there's no one
safeguarding?
policing it. So there's no one policing it. I guess it can only be uncovered. So if someone started copying this John's work,
Yeah.
then people would twig that this is not. This is. I guess that this is where the association. When I see these, I know it's John. I know it's this guy, John Carroll, right? So and then, if I see it on someone else's account, then I know it's been copied, and you can report it. There's reporting mechanisms, I guess, and then it can be pulled off. But you've got to be really careful, because I think so. Let's say let's say you wanted to buy one of these for whatever, hundreds of Tez, which is a lot of money. You want to make sure that you're going to his account, this particular artist's account, even making sure that you've sort of registered. It's his wallet number.
Yeah, but how do you know that?
Well, I guess this is part of the the familiarizing yourself with the landscape before you make any massive purchases. So basically, I would not purchase anything unless especially if it was a lot of money, unless I was 100% sure that this was the John.
Yeah.
And it's pretty evident that this is his account without knowing his wallet address. All the pieces are being sold for 200 Tez a piece. There's loads of collectors, like thousands of collectors. If you click on the collector tabs, there's hundreds of collectors. So his strategy for selling work was he would always sell 25 editions for 25 Tez each.
Yeah.
That was his USP. Yeah, that's what he's known for. So I think pretty much every few days he drops one at a certain time, and you've got a 1 in 25 chance of getting that for 25 Tez. And if you're lucky enough to get that, it will basically triple, quadruple in value, literally overnight. Yeah. And it's quite impossible to get it. You have to be really on the ball. You would literally, it's a bit like getting concert tickets. You would have to be there, ready, keep refreshing your browser, make sure everything's working okay, and be lucky enough to get it accepted in the chain and registered in the block before, and not backtracked or anything like that. Yeah. So, but what he did the other day was posted this one. He made 10,000 copies and sold them for 2.5 Tez. And he basically said he'll post them for 24 hours, and you can get it for 2.5 Tez, and then after that he burnt all the remaining copies.
I saw somebody else doing that.
Yeah,
today.
And it was a massive, amazing strategy, because he sold nearly 1,000, I think 700 for 2.5 Tez each. Plus, everyone got one. I got one, which I was very happy about. So I think but I thought that was quite a clever. And I saw it in that 24 hours. Before I knew he was doing that, I saw it in someone's collection. I thought, how did they pay for that? It's like Jesus. I saw it in lots of people's collections.
How big is this guy prior to, like, in general? Like, how did he? Because I feel like his strategy is really good, but it only works if you're already well known. Like,
No.
like if I were to put out 25 editions of my thing, if nobody knows who I am,
No.
and somebody bought one of mine and I burned the 24 rest,
Yeah.
nobody would care.
No.
How big is this guy?
Don't underestimate yourself, Mary. But
I think that's where Twitter comes in, isn't it? It's like followers and
yeah, like I say, if you look at his Instagram, he's got a following. He's not like a massive NFT guy. So I think he's found his place in the NFT world through Hicting Up. I think it's just this has been a bit of a surprise for him because I saw the whole journey kind of play out over the last few weeks, where he was like, oh my god, my piece has just sold 30 Tez. And then over the last few weeks, it's just gone like hundreds of Tez, and now 200 Tez, 300 Tez. Okay, should we get on with hands on now?
Yep.